Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. You've been asking how to make heart-shaped lollipops, and today we will show you not one, but 3 different ways to make them so that you could choose what's best for you. For the hearts to come out opaque, we mixed in some pink color and have also added titanium dioxide. The latter enhances the color and the opacity of Isomalt. Since food colors come in different form, liquid, powder, oil-based, water-based, there are too many nuances to be covered in just one video, so we've dedicated a whole lesson to coloring Isomalt on our online course. This lesson, though, is on heart-shaped lollipops, so let's get started. You will need a saucepan with melted colored Isomalt, a manual jet torch, an infrared thermometer, floral wire and cutters, or bamboo skewers, or some cake pop sticks. You can choose whichever you like. A spatula, blade, or knife to even out the rough edges. Heart stencils and a silicone mold. Before you start, it's important to degrease the baking mat and the tools. You can either wash them using dish soap or wipe them down with vodka or rubbing alcohol. The Isomalt has cooled down and is now ready for use. The working temperature for molding lollipops is between 130 and 140 degrees Celsius. At this point, Isomalt has the right consistency and does not spread into a puddle. The first method does not require stencils or a mold. We will be freehanding. Pour out a circle, stretch it down into a check mark, and then form another circle. Use a spoon to add Isomalt to the places that need more volume. While the Isomalt is still warm, you can even out the edges using a blade. Now insert the stick. If the Isomalt has already cooled down and the stick cannot be inserted, heat the Isomalt up again with a torch. Now let's make another heart. Note that you can also insert the stick before evening out the edges. Another way of making a heart is to pour out 2 circles. Now form a base with such motions. Heat the Isomalt up with a torch so that it spreads evenly. Insert the stick and even it out. The second method. We have made only 3 hearts so far, but our Isomalt has already had time to thicken. Remelt it again, but do not bring it to a boil. Keep stirring to prevent it from burning on the walls and the bottom of the saucepan. Stirring will form bubbles. To get rid of them, just take the saucepan off the heat and leave it to settle. That's why we heat it up to above working temperature. While the bubbles are dissolving, it will cool down to the necessary temperature. You can, of course, mold your lollipops with the bubbles, but Isomalt is much prettier and more transparent without them. Now let's make some lollipops using stencils. We've printed out outlines of hearts of different size and cut them up into such squares. Place them under the mat and begin to pour the Isomalt out. Pour only within the outlines, pushing back in anything that has spread outside the borders of the stencil. Now insert the stick. Make sure to insert it blunt end in so that no one gets hurt in the process of eating the lollipop. The stencil helps us to see what needs to be corrected so that our heart comes out even and symmetrical. If the Isomalt sticks to the blade that you are using to even out the edges, like now, you can wait for it to cool down some more and then carry on working. And now the last part. The temperature of the Isomalt has dropped to 130 degrees Celsius. There's now no trouble evening out the edges, and the Isomalt no longer sticks to the blade. Now let's gather the leftovers, heat the Isomalt up again, and move on to the third method. We will make lollipops in a silicone mold. For this, we have a special mold for lollipops. This is the quickest and easiest way to make lollipops. There is no need to wait for the Isomalt to reach its working temperature. Just melt the Isomalt, wait for the bubbles to disappear, and pour it into the mold. This will save you the time that you would have otherwise spent on evening out the edges. The mold already has holes for sticks. All you have to do is wait for the Isomalt to settle and unmold the lollipops. Cool, right? You can buy all sorts of silicone molds online, not just heart-shaped, but any shape or size. What you need to keep in mind when using this method is, first, the temperature of the Isomalt. The higher the temperature, the larger the bubbles on the back. We will demonstrate this later. Secondly, the sticks. They tend to rise while the Isomalt is cooling, so just press them back into place. Third, the depth of your mold. These lollipops came out quite thick and heavy. If you prefer them thinner, don't fill up the mold to the top. If the stick is visible, simply pour more Isomalt on top and heat it up with the torch for it to spread evenly. But be careful not to burn the stick. Now that the lollipops have cooled down, it's time to unmold them. Simple and easy. These lollipops are slightly thicker in comparison, hence also heavier. You won't be able to stick many of these into a cake with a soft filling. Another difference between the lollipops is in the bubbles on the back, but they, like any other bumps, can easily be removed with a torch. Look at how pretty our lollipops have come out, and how they sparkle in the light. We can use them to decorate a cake, a sweet table, or even wrap them up individually. We hope you found this video useful. We have been working with Isomalt for 3 years now and would like to share with you what we've learned. That's why we have recently created an awesome course on Isomalt that contains all the important and necessary information that you will need. Everything you need to know in one place. Useful tips and tricks, important info, and details. So many mistakes can be avoided by watching this course. You will learn how to choose the best Isomalt and the right tools, discover why Isomalt can sometimes turn yellow and lose transparency, find out about different types of food colors, water-based, oil-based, luster dust, liquid, powder, and gel colors, and different techniques for each kind. And last but not least, a lesson on how to store Isomalt and protect it from humidity. We will show you the 4 main ways of storing Isomalt. One of them will even protect your decor from water. Can you imagine? Your Isomalt will never melt, lose transparency, or get a sugar crust ever again. We are confident that with your new knowledge and skills, you will fall in love with Isomalt just like we did. And don't forget how popular Isomalt decor is with customers. Good luck on your Isomalt journey, and we'll see you again soon!